Last week was the amazing 888 Poker free roll tournament where you guys joined Lee and I with a chance to win the $150 prize pool. An incredible 800 people took part in the tournament. Let's see the highlights and find out who won. Here I lost a couple of pots, but I was getting better cards and even got a nice pair of aces to double up with. Here I am in a big blind position with a pair of tens. I live to fight another hand. It was a super turbo tournament, so you had to move fast and aggressively, a bit like Jesus. I came 63rd. How did you do, Lee?
Not great this time, Robbie. I came in at 267.
267. Bloody hell. A big congratulations goes out to our winner, Sport888R, who won the $150. I think I did all right. Yeah, 67.
Yeah,
the old glasses, mate. The old glasses. Once I've got my poker face on like that, you know what I mean? There's no stopping me.
My nickname's Fold, man.
This was by far my favourite game to host. And if I didn't have to put up with Lee, it would have been even better.
Check the link in the description and go to 888. Look out for our usernames, Robbie AFTV and Lee AFTV, to play with us more often. I love poker and 888 is such a great platform to play.
It is, but you sure you love poker? 267. You need to be over 18 to sign up and play, and remember to play responsibly. Click the link in the description to get access to an array of great tournaments and prize drops that 888 Poker have. Make sure you look out for us on the tables. Hi and welcome along to the Invincibles podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building. Lee, listen, I know you're hurting still.
Hurting?
That poker.
Hurting?
Hold on, I'll look at that.
You know where I come. You bloody well know where I come.
267th.
Yeah, my nickname is Fold. I said that's all I'd done. I never had one decent set of cards the whole time. The only time I won on that was when I blagged me way to a pot. Ridiculous.
267. Mind you, I only finished 63rd, but not bad out of 800.
I'll tell you what that was good about. I thought it was going to be like a long draw, you know, because poker, but it was fast, furious, and it was all done within half hour.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It was good.
Don't forget to get involved in it. Usernames, Robbie AFTV. I think you want to go with that. Or Lee AFTV if you're a proper amateur, right? But those are the two usernames. And the promo code is welcome40. If you deposit £10, I'll give you £40. Remember to sign up right now to 888 Poker. Okay. It's because you finished so far down. I'm putting you in an extra 8.
Yeah, like, you know, poor performance like that.
But listen, what wasn't a poor performance was Arsenal.
Oh, yes.
4-2 winners over Leicester City. And as it turns out, you know, joint top of the league.
Joint top.
What a turnaround from last season.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
Joint top of the league. As a matter of fact, you were just saying to me before we started the show, only 2 clubs so far unbeaten, that's unusual, that haven't lost a game.
2 games.
And after 2 games, and that's us and Man City, because, of course, the other night, you know, I think that just showed how good our win against Crystal Palace was when you saw the Liverpool game the other night.
Going to say it now. Masterclass from Patrick Vieira. What a tactical masterclass that was, with players that are not as good as Liverpool players. I thought his tactics and the way he set up were fantastic. I loved him as a player, and I'm going to say I really like him as a manager as well. I think he's top drawer.
Maybe in the future he could even be an Arsenal manager.
Well, I'd love it. I'd love it. I really would. Like, you know, obviously I want Mikel to stay for a very, very long while, because that means Arsenal being successful. But I've got to say, you know, the way he set up, and that is something. I'm going to tell you, everybody keeps going on about Mikel and everything. That is something I want to see Arsenal do this season. Put in a masterclass of tactical business and get a result. I know that Crystal Palace didn't get the result probably at the end of the day that maybe they should have done. But look at the players that he's got. Look at the players that Arsenal got. We need to go to one of these big grounds and do a job on them. Do a job on them.
But it shows how good, though, our win at Crystal Palace was. First game of the season, right in front of their own fans. to go there, 2-0, keep a clean sheet, shows how good a victory that was.
Yeah.
Followed it up with another good win against another good side in Leicester. These are not crap sides, by the way. Leicester, I thought, started that game well, but then once we got hold of it, we were great. Gabriel Jesus, fantastic again, and winning the game by 4-2. And I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I really enjoyed that game. The stadium was absolutely buzzing, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. It was like a really, really good day. It was hot conditions, but the fans were really up for it. I felt sorry for the ones on the east side because they had the sun all the time.
That's where I was.
Oh, was it really? But you was up top, so you was all right. But the old ones in the lower, there was some redheads in there, I tell you, like, at the end of the day, like, you know. So, no, fair play to them. And I thought the atmosphere was fantastic. And I'm going to say this now, I thoroughly enjoyed the game of football. And Leicester have to take a bit of credit for that as well.
Yeah.
I thought
Leicester are a good side, man.
I thought they were.
Technicians.
If they keep their players, they're decent. They're decent.
Yeah. And somebody said to me at the game, they said, what players would you take from Leicester? I was like, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fofana you take.
Yeah.
Even though he got skinned up on the day by Martinelli. But you take Fofana.
Yeah.
Right? You take Ndidi.
Yeah.
You take Maddison.
Yeah.
We're trying to take Tielemans, as they're saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Dewsbury Hall as well.
Dewsbury Hall's a good player.
I like him. Good player.
Remember Harvey Barnes weren't even playing. They've got a whole host of very good players. I know they haven't bought no one in really, apart from a keeper now, but they've got a whole host of top quality technicians in that team. And I think Arsenal did really well. Look, Man United were trying to get Vardy at the start of the week, who, by the way, he had his swimming trunks on in that game, trying to dive again. Again. So it was thoroughly a good win, and 4-2 was very impressive. Now 4-2, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this.
4-2. Is that a statement result or not for you?
No, it was like, our good friend Julian was talking about this the other day, and I think 4-0 is a statement. But my argument is, and it is a good thing really, is 2-0 better than 4-2. 2-0 looks more professional, looks more like, from a coach's point of view, you'd be more happy with that clean sheet, blah, blah, blah. But for the fans and everything and the entertainment, 4-2, I thought is great. But 2 goals conceded doesn't look good. But
4-2 is better than 2-0.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're saying it is?
Yeah, because you're scoring goals. And
that's what it's to see goals. Yeah,
scored.
So I suppose
people on TV come to see goals scored, and if you're scoring lots of goals, you win football matches. The thing is about it is what they say. It's just about outscoring the opposition.
Yeah. So
if you score 4 goals in the Premier League, right? That is a feat. Not many people score 4 goals in the Premier League, right? So at the weekend, only City scored. They scored 4 goals.
Our rivals.
Yeah, a bit early to say that, but they're the only ones, weren't they? Apart from us, I know they won 4-0.
But there was a statement there, though, wasn't there?
Well, they got a statement every week.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the levels you've got to get to. Starting 4 goals, no goals conceded. I'm pretty sure Pep will go in and go like, I'm happy with that clean sheet.
Yeah, but look on it like this, right? The 2 teams over the last few years, right, that have dominated it, right, have been Liverpool and Man City. And what they both do consistently, they score lots of goals. Yeah. And what we haven't done consistently is score lots of goals. Last season, there's a few games where we got 3s and Norwich and but really and truly, we didn't score enough goals, did we? And the season before, I think it bodes well at the moment that I'm looking at pre-season, put 4 past Chelsea. I know it's pre-season, but it's 4. The previous game to that, I think we scored 3. We scored another 3 in another game.
6 against Seville.
Yeah, 6 goals against Seville. Right, could have been more. 4 goals and 2 goals so far this season. I like it. We're scoring goals, man.
Yeah,
it's exciting. We got to get those forwards motoring, and if they've got loads of goals in them, Martinelli's already got 2 goals. Yeah,
and do you know what? Last season, the difference. Well, listen, it's early. There was only 1 game, but I sense a certain difference in the stadium. If that would have gone, when it went 2-1, I think we would have been nervous last season because you don't know who's going to get a goal and all that. But when I just felt like, all right, we scored it very, very quickly. But I just felt we had goals in us.
Yeah.
I felt we had goals in us before the game, and during the game I felt we had goals as well. Like, you know, so all in all, you know, from a fan's point of view, I'm pretty sure every fan's happy with the 4-2. I'm pretty sure Mikel and the coaching staff are maybe going on with it. We've got to be a little bit more. The one thing I would criticise Arsenal for is they're conceding too many chances at the moment. Aaron Ramsdale's having to make too many saves, in my opinion, for our dominance of the game. You know, like if that would be the only downside at the moment that I would say, which is a good thing because you can work on that and improve on it. Like, you know, and the thing is now these next 3 games are a big test for us because I think out of the 5-game run that we're all talking about before we take on Manchester United was Crystal Palace away, Leicester at home, 2 toughest games out of that bunch of 5. Now I know there's no easy game in the Premier League as
Bournemouth away, they beat Villa on their first season. So they're no mugs.
And then we got Fulham, who drew with Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're going to come to those games in a minute, right? But what I wanted to ask you this, right? Because like after the weekend, everyone obviously was talking about Jesus and how great he was. Lots of people talking about Martinelli. What a performance! Again, 2 goals in 2 games. Again, electric. Had Fofana on toast for a lot of that game, right? But nobody mentioned Granit Xhaka, who also scored and also created, you know, he had another opportunity header, hit the post, and he had a very, very good game. And I want to find out this, right? Do you think fans are finally falling in love with Granit Xhaka?
They're never falling in love with poor old Granit. You know what I mean? Like,
are they falling in love with
good-looking lad as he is, and he is a good-looking lad, they ain't going to fall in love with him because I just think damage has been done in the past, and I think that, you know, listen, I think that his winning player support was over. Like, he's certainly won me over in the last sort of year and so.
Is that because you're sitting next to his parents?
Well, I was sitting next to him for a little while. That did help, you know what I mean? But
Granit! Sorry. But, he's a good lad, Granit.
But no, seriously, he was you know, first and foremost, I will say this, I've had the pleasure of meeting him, sat next to him and watched a few games of him. First of all, he's genuinely a really nice guy, you know what I mean? I have to say that, like, you know, but you know, talking to him as a footballer, there were problems, and he was making mistakes and all that. Like, you know, I think he's been very, very unfairly dealt with by some refereeing situations. I'll be honest, but on Saturday, he really was superb. And I'm going to say this now about him: he's a machine because of that heat and everything like that. He's the one running around. You know what I mean? For 90 minutes. Up and down, box to box, you know. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, but I get why. He has tarnished it and whatever, like, you know. But, you know, you have to give something like his mentality, his mental state of the game, to come back to where he is, you know what I mean? It takes a lot, you know. Yeah. And I'm going to say I've quite... You know, like with the documentary, I've quite liked the way he's come out and that. Like, you can see that he's a bit of a leader, a bit of a joker. You can see why people like him.
Yeah, well, the manager named his sort of new leadership group this week. And that's basically Odegaard captain, Granit Xhaka, if he's not, then he's next in command, and Gabriel Jesus. And again, I think if that had been a couple of years ago or a year and a half ago, everybody would be like, why Xhaka been named? I've not really heard any dissenting voices about it. No. You know, that's what I'm saying. Is he? Are people starting to fall in love with him? Well, maybe that's a bit too much, but are people starting to really have a really appreciation of him?
Yeah, I think they are.
And then the other thing is as well, he's playing in a different position. I've always been of this thing like, what is Granit Xhaka's position? Because I've never been convinced of him as a defensive midfielder. No. Right, which is what I always thought initially he'd been brought in to do. He was then sort of playing as a sort of inverted left back, sort of a kind of box to box, but not really. But now he's almost like he's been put in the role of a box to box midfielder. That's your role. Get up and down. If you can get forward, get forward. But if not, come back, help out. And his little sort of combination with Zinchenko, where he drops in to allow Zinchenko sometimes to go forward and vice versa. The way he got forward into great positions, you saw the goal he scored. I think we finally found a position for him.
Yeah. I do. I also think that one thing that people don't give him a lot of credit for, he's very, very disciplined in his roles that he plays.
Hold on.
No, in the roles that he plays. There's a difference between the discipline with the referee and all that. But I'll tell you what, he slots into different positions when he has to. He gets back into certain positions. So his discipline as a footballer and the way he plays midfield is very, very good. His discipline on the other side is borderline.
That's the challenge now for him for this season. I think, and he said after the game, I think the other day, that he thinks that All or Nothing documentaries help to bring a closeness between the fans and the players, because they're actually seeing what's going on behind the scenes, right?
I agree with that.
The challenge for Granit Xhaka this season is that discipline on the pitch. We saw on Monday in that game, the Liverpool game, against Palace, how that Joachim Andersen wound up, that Darwin Núñez, and then, Darwin Núñez ended up stupidly getting himself sent off and be out for 3 games. And I looked at it and I said, that's the type of thing Xhaka will succumb to. Now, the challenge is this season, when those sort of things happen, because he must be a targeted player for those type of antics, yeah?
What?
He's now got to show a maturity and a discipline that's now being installed back into that sort of leadership position, that I think if he can do that, keep playing like how he's playing at the moment, but also brings a new discipline side to it, then fans will fall in love with him. Then fans will really, really respect him. That's the challenge now, because he's still got that little moment in him. Yeah, I mean, that's the worry still with me and him.
Yeah, and it is. And listen, look, Saliba makes a mistake on Saturday, and look how the fans rallied around him. And there's a thing going around of Arsenal at the moment, which is great. Everybody's saying, "Oh, let's be positive. Let's, we don't want no negativity. We want be positive, be positive." So the ones that are continually getting onto Granit Xhaka's back for whatever reason, take a leaf out of your own book what you're saying, if he does something wrong or doesn't have a good game, back him like you're backing everybody else.
But the difference between the Saliba one, right, is that's the first mistake we've seen Saliba make. He's a new player, fresh, young, we give him a chance. But in the place of Granit Xhaka, we have seen down the years.
We have seen
incident after incident, even last season.
We've seen also, Robbie, a lot of mistakes by the manager over the last sort of year or so, and the forgiveness there. We've also seen Arsenal as a team consistently lose, but there's a forgiveness there. Look at we're all on board, everybody like that, which is fantastic. I'm not having a go when I say that. It's all great stuff. We're backing the manager. We're all getting behind the manager, whether you think he's the right manager for the job or not. There's a sense of we're going to back him and whatever. There's a backing for all the players. Let's bring that same energy, same positiveness for Granit Xhaka, Now, listen, it's going to be a lot tougher if he does something wrong and we lose a game, at the moment, things are great because we're winning, and it's easier to be more positive.
As I said, it's not so much the mistakes for me, it's just more... Because I didn't think last season, he didn't make many mistakes, right?
I thought he was unlucky with his sending-offs as well last season.
He had a very good season last season.
Yeah,
but it was still the red mist. That's what he's got to take out of his game. And I know he said things in the past like, "Oh yeah, but that's part of my game." No, that yes, you can be you can still fiery guy, but you don't get sent off.
No, that's something
get sent off in games. The challenge for him is to go a season without a red card.
Yeah, well, do you know what? It's a challenge for the whole club. Look at Liverpool on I don't really remember too many red cards from Liverpool. If I'll be honest, through the season, Manchester City don't get many, do they?
Yeah, Liverpool never get red cards.
I can't remember the last time.
I think
Liverpool
they said something like the last red card they got. I think it was Mane or somebody like that.
So
they don't get red cards.
So there you go. So now they've got a red card on Monday, and it ended up costing them points. So I think there's a challenge for Arsenal and the players not to have any of those sending offs this season. So we go with 11. Like Spurs never get no one sent off. When was the last time a Spurs player got sent off? So
should have had one sent off on Sunday, innit?
Well, yeah, but VAR is sponsored by sponsors Tottenham, but on a serious note, but that is something that Arsenal, we had far too many sending offs last season, whether it's referee decisions or not, and I think that's the thing now. Get those referees on board and make sure that we can go 90 minutes into games without getting sending off. So I want to see hardly any red cards, and that obviously includes Granit, who I thought was unlucky with his sending off last season.
All right, well, he's been really nice now. You didn't say that last season. What are you doing?
Right. Well, do you remember that was a nightmare?
It was a Man City.
Man City. That was on my birthday and all. It was a nightmare day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was terrible.
And I do think at the end of the day, you know, if I'm going to be honest, Granit threw the towel in that day by doing that tackle. Like, it was a hard day's work, and he thought, well, you know. I see why people would criticise. So, but you know, he's in a good place at the moment. Arsenal in a good place at the moment. We've got to continue it.
If he solves that, I'll tell you. Let me just take a look at the next 5 games. You were talking about the 5 including. We'll put those 2 behind us that we've just won. This is the next 5 Arsenal games, right? When we're talking about the start of the season and getting off to a good start, right? Maximum points so far. Next game, Bournemouth away, right? Followed by Fulham at home. Then a midweek encounter against Aston Villa at home. Then on Sunday the 4th of September, away to Manchester United. Followed after that by Everton at home. That's the next 5 games, right? This team could get off to a really good start this season, couldn't they? I mean, if we keep playing with the confidence, listen, it's not every week you're going to just turn up and win. But if we keep playing with the confidence that we've been playing with, we keep players are injury free, we keep firing how we've been firing, there's no reason why. I mean, you could get maximum points out of those games, isn't it? Well, on paper, you said we beat Bournemouth, right? You'd also say we beat Fulham. You'd have to fancy us against Villa, right? Man United, you know, I know, listen, by the 4th of September, they would have bought a load of players in, I guess, but still, we know they're not in a good place right now. That's we haven't won at Old Trafford for a long time, but you could say to yourself, we could go there and get something. At Everton at home, we normally beat, I think last season 5-1, I know it was the last game. We've got a great record against Everton at home. I mean, that we could get off to a great start this season.
Well, and we need to.
Put us off in a fantastic position.
Yeah, and we need to, because there's, like after that, we've got some real tough fixtures after that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If I was to look beyond there, if I take it up till the end of September, then we then fall out with Brentford away, which after seeing that game the other day, it'll be no easy game. But again, it's not Anfield, is it?
No, you got.
It's not Etihad. It's away. You know, what I mean, it's a winnable game. But then you're right. Then now October,
that's when it starts.
Once if you get off to a good start, Tottenham at home, Liverpool at home, both at home, Leeds away, Man City at home, right, and then Southampton away, and Nottingham Forest at home. I'm telling you this.
The Invincibles we carry on like this.
But
you've got to take it one game at a time. I'm these next 3 games for me are crucial to when I look at Mikel and the management team and the coaching staff, because I think these 3 games are definitely winnable games. No win. I don't think Bournemouth is tougher than going to Crystal Palace, if I'll be honest. So I think that
you think it is tougher?
I think it's tougher going to Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah,
you know
much
what I mean?
tougher.
But we've gone there and done the business there. Yeah. So Bournemouth's going to be tough, but no, I don't think so. That we've got out of those first five games that we've got this season, we've got gone through the toughest 2: Leicester and Crystal Palace. Bournemouth going to be tough, but I with our firepower, I think we should be looking quite comfortable. And then we've got 2 home games.
Fulham at home,
Fulham at home, Aston Villa at home. If you're going to get top 4, or you've got any aspirations of doing top 4, you have to win your home games against teams like that. Now, one of those games, there's going to be one time that you're not, but when you're in the ascendancy, going really well, it's important. I want us going into the Tottenham game on October the 1st, all right, unbeaten. Well, I want us going to that game unbeaten, because
unbeaten in that we've won every game.
Maybe drawn at Man United. Look, Man United, I don't care what anybody says, you know what I mean? As poor as they are at the moment, still a tough place to go. But
for us,
in a way,
they'll up their game against us.
I've been there when they're in worse estates than this a few years ago.
The other thing is, though, I want to see, and again, I spoke about it, I think it's on last week's show, I spoke about how Jay Bothroyd came onto a live show the other day, ex-Arsenal player, and was talking about, when we go to these places, like Manchester United, if they're in a bad place,
mate,
and then we look around at the players we got, we turn around and we say, well, you know what? Actually, our 11 is better than your 11.
Yeah.
So you know what, United, you've got to turn up today, or you're not going to beat us. If Arsenal have that attitude this season and play to how we should do, right? If we go to Old Trafford, currently, as it stands, they play their best, we play our best, we should beat them.
Yeah. And then
Would you say that? I think, even talking to United fans, I think at this moment in time, we have a better team than Manchester United.
I agree.
And I would not have said that most years. Most years, you go in there and you're like, you know what, they've got certain individuals, Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, this, that. And that's still the case. Any of them can hurt you. But I look on the 11 of Manchester United right now, and obviously they can buy players. You know, they could have a Aubameyang by the time we play them. You know, they're after him, right? But I look at their 11 and I look at our 11 and I'm like, right now, our 11 is better than Manchester United. So if we go there and we're on it, we should beat them. Our 11 is better than Villa's. Our 11 is better than Fulham's.
Yeah.
It's better than Bournemouth's. So we need to go to these places
and get the job done.
Turn up. And especially another factor right at the start of the season is it's like one game a week at the moment. It's not like there's no factoring in yet Europa League and EFL Cup or any of those things. At the moment, it's one, then rest, then the next one, then rest. We've got to take advantage of, I think, what is quite a favourable start.
Yeah, 100%.
Quite a favourable start. We've not really got any big gun until we get to the 4th of September when we play Man United. And a lot of people right now would argue that they're not even in the big guns.
And what's happened when I've been many a times when Arsenal have been down on their knees a little bit, like Man United come and rub salt in the wounds.
Yeah.
Come on there and beat us.
Ruthless.
Liverpool have done the same, and that's what we've got to show. We've got to show a certain amount of ruthlessness, and that starts with Bournemouth on Saturday. We've got to go there and keep a clean sheet, and then that's how I would say, right, we keep a clean sheet, then we just let the boys up front do their job. And I do think that we should come through that game comfortable winners. If we don't, I'm then looking at it and going, well, it's not quite all as it's meant to be in this season. I don't want to get negative and everything like that, because I'm not going to be. I personally think at this moment Arsenal will go to Bournemouth and they will win. I think that we'll win against Fulham and we'll win against Aston Villa. Why do I think that is? Because I do think that we've got something going at the Arsenal at this moment in time. If we don't start winning these games, then there's going to be pressure put on. You know what I mean? And we don't want pressure put on, do we? We want to be positive in everything that we're doing.
And winning breeds winning, and winning breeds confidence. And if you is to win all those games and then turn up at Old Trafford on the 4th, you're thinking to yourself, right, United's, I mean, who knows where they could be in our position. What we were in last year.
Yeah.
I remember their next game is Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right. That's not even though they're at home, that's not an easy game. And we could put a real distance between those type of teams, because teams like Man United are teams that people have said will be challenging for the top 4.
Yeah,
and listen, I want people to slow down as well, right? Despite the horrible start that Man United have had, which they have had, and we've all enjoyed watching it, right? But let's not forget, we lost our first 3
We was there. We know, yeah.
Right? And we lost our first 3 games of the season, and
signed a few players.
Nearly got top 4.
Yeah, signed a few players and then he got there. So
it's
exactly
way too early to write off Man United, right? So, but what it would do if we could, win games and then get there and then beat them, it starts to put a bit of distance between them and starts to fill them with a lot of doubt, because they're going to be one of those teams in the mix for the top 4. I don't care that they've lost their first couple of games. I still think they'll be, they'll be in and around it. Are Liverpool still in for the top 4? The top 4?
Yeah.
Well, they're still in for the title.
Well, of course, and that's only because there's 2 games gone. They haven't won one, you know what I mean? So you're writing off Liverpool. If you're writing off Man United, you're writing off... Not me, no. I'm certainly not writing them off. I think that Manchester United could actually go and beat Liverpool on the way. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
And if they beat Liverpool, all of a sudden it's a real sea change in mindset and attitude, and it's all of a sudden it's a different Man United. So it's still very early in the season, but we have got a good opportunity here to.
We have. We've got a real, and I'm not being an opportunity that if it was Spurs playing these games, like or Chelsea, you'd be looking at it and going like, Bournemouth away, our Spurs are going to win there, Chelsea are going to win there. That is the attitude we've got to have. We're going to go there and we're going to win. We're going to win. Like, you know, over the last few years, the doubts have been there because we haven't backed up it. We need to go there and back it up now, because I could say this now: Tottenham will probably be unbeaten going into the North London derby as well. They've got some very favourable fixtures coming up now after their game against Chelsea. So Chelsea will win games as well now, because whatever way you look at it, I've sort of wrote Chelsea off a little bit, not write them off, but thought that they wouldn't get to the top four. What I see on Sunday, they're a very, very good side.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe one or two players.
Spurs,
absolutely outplayed them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actually, it was very, very one-sided first half. You know, it should have been about 3 or 4 up. The one saving grace is from from Chelsea's point of view, is that they didn't play well against Everton. They turned it on against Spurs, but if they got a goal scoring on that, if they get that, they're going to be really up there. So Arsenal need to be on point every single game. They can't afford to have. Sorry, Robert. They cannot afford to have little lapses like we did last season. When you lose 3 games against Southamptons and Brightons and things, they cannot let that happen, and the manager has to be accountable if it does. So he needs to be on point, the coaching staff need to be on point, and I can tell you this now, after watching the documentary, you can tell that he is telling these players this and this and this. Now he's got better players in, he should be sending those messages out, and these players have got to deliver it. Got to deliver it.
Okay. By the way, the documentary now has come to a close. I mean, have you been pleased with the documentary?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was worried about it.
At the start of the documentary, a lot of people were like, I ain't watching it. This is embarrassing. This shames Arsenal. It's been the opposite, isn't it?
It has. It was worrying. I'm going to say, you know, we obviously know what ends. The next one's not going to be great viewing, but what I'm interested in seeing is that. From my point of view, is what happened after the Spurs game, what's said there, and the Newcastle game. Because I'll tell you what, when I go back to look at that Forest game, I was fuming after going up there and losing and getting knocked out in the FA Cup. What I did like was that so was Mikel.
Yeah.
So was Mikel. He was fuming by that, like, you know. And I don't care what anybody says, you know what I mean? You're only as good as your players. If you've not got the players, you can't do it. He has got better players now than I've seen at Arsenal for a very, very long while.
Yeah,
very long while. So he's got to deliver. And I think he's come over very, very well. I've got to say that. I've enjoyed what he's doing. I like all these little things that he brings into the play, like, you know, getting them thinking and all that. Not the speakers one, you know what I mean? But listen, that one didn't work. But the other ones have seemed to have worked. So, you know, and what I do like is that, you know, as a manager, he's trying different things, and, you know, you can see that he's got a drive and a desire to do well. And, you know, and also I've got to say, with the documentary, they've done a bit round his house when his wife was saying that, you know, as a person, we expect criticism. If he's not doing well, we expect it. I think that was very, very, you know, great that, you know, listen, you know, if you are doing well, you know you're going to get praise, and if you aren't going to do well, you know you're going to get criticised. You know, and I think that's it now. But I do see through everything that's gone on with the documentary and everything there, the biggest thing for me is there is a connection between fans, club, players, and everything. Now you can see that.
We haven't had that for a long while.
Not had that for a very, very long while, and that I'm going to give down the credit to him. And you know, the documentary, I think, has pleasantly surprised me, shall I say. I'm going to pleasantly surprise.
Now, what I thought I'd do, Lee, you know, because I battered you the other day at poker, right?
It's the only time you've ever battered me, once.
8 poker.
Battered me once.
AFTV Robbie, right? Remember? Not AFTV Lee. Because I battered you at poker, I thought I'd bring back a feature that we used to have, remember?
Yeah.
Predictions. You ain't done it for a while. Now that the season's back,
We'll do that then.
Let's get predictions back, you know what I mean? Because a bit like we've been talking about earlier, now that Arsenal are in a good position, you've got to try and ram that home. I'm in a good position now, so...
All right, go on then. So you want to go first, Cindy? Because you know what I mean?
So bringing the predictions back. So let's first of all start off with predicting our game, Saturday, 5:30 kickoff against Bournemouth. Which, by the way, man, Bournemouth, man, I think they need to put an extension on that ground now. Only 1,000 tickets available to Arsenal fans. Well, 1,300, but 300 have gone to corporate. 1,000 tickets. The amount of people that have rung me up asking me for a ticket for that game. It's like, trust me, like, come on. Bournemouth, I love going there, but you need to extend that ground now for the Premier League. 12,000 or whatever it is not enough in the Premier League. But anyway, Arsenal visiting Bournemouth. Prediction.
I think Arsenal...
I remember we used to do it before. Exact result, 3 points.
Oh, okay.
Draw, 1 point. And if you get everything, nil point.
Nil point. So I'm going for...
oh, no, sorry. Hold on, wait a minute.
1 point if you get it right.
It used to be...
1 point if you get the right result. 3 points if you get the right result and score. Nothing if you get it wrong.
What about draw?
Well, if you draw, you get if you go two. If it's 2-2.
Oh
yeah. You know what I mean? Right. You know, how did you do well in that poker? I'll never know. Did you have some instructions or something? Like, you know what I mean?
What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything like that. I mean,
right.
But that weren't hard to work out, was it? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. Right. Bournemouth versus Arsenal.
I'm going Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2.
I'm going Bournemouth. Did score 2 in the last home game. Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 3.
Oh.
3. Goals are going to keep raining in. Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I think he's going to be too hot to handle again.
Yeah. So, Tottenham, the 12:30 kickoff against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who beat them last year.
Yeah, not this year, though.
Tottenham.
You go first on this one.
I'm going to go for a draw. I think...
Wishful thinking.
Huh?
Wishful thinking.
Remember last year?
Yeah, I don't remember last year.
I wasn't impressed with Tottenham last week. I'm sorry. Listen, I wasn't impressed with Tottenham last week. Wolves are one of these very well... You see when we play them, they're not an easy team to beat, you know. They deploy at a low block and they catch teams on their counter-attack. And we saw with Palace the other day what they did to Liverpool. And you can argue that Wolves are better at doing it. I'm going to go for a Wolves. I'm going draw. 1-1.
2-1.
You sure?
Yeah. I can't say then. I mean, like, can they play as bad as they did the other day? You know what I mean, really?
Yeah, but they got outplayed by a really good team. But I'm saying Wolves are a decent team.
I'd love it. But I can't see it.
No?
No.
Okay. This is another interesting one for you. Right. Oh, where's it gone? Yeah. Right. Here's an interesting one for you. Everton versus Nottingham Forest. That's a good one, isn't it?
That is a good one.
Everton at home. You know, they haven't won a game yet.
No, they've got to win.
They'll be under a lot of pressure if they don't win this one.
Pressure's off for Forest, isn't it?
You know, they've got players like Anthony Gordon being linked heavily with the move away to Chelsea. I don't get that one, by the way. But and then you've got Nottingham Forest who buying everybody under the sun. They could turn up with a new team.
Yeah.
Even for
they nearly did on the last game,
last week. One last week, Forest.
Yeah, I've gone to back Everton. They've got to win at home. You know what I mean? They'll be under severe pressure if they don't. So I'm going to go 2-1 again. 2-1 to Everton.
Well, I think you're right. Everton under a lot of pressure. I mean, Lampard loses this game.
Yeah, he's under all sorts of pressure.
3 defeats at the start of the season. You know, you start to look at it and say...
Yeah, under pressure. Under pressure.
The old job agency might be calling him. Get a call from Indeed. You know what I mean? But I think they'll squeeze it. 1-0 Everton. They ain't got a lot of goals in them because they ain't got strikers or nothing. So I think 1-0 to just the fact that, Nottingham Forest, they're still new to the division, going to a very noisy Goodison Park. I've got to go with Everton 1-0. They have to win it.
Yeah, I think
they have to win it.
Need to win it.
The fourth game I'm going to look at is Newcastle.
Oh, it's a good game.
Versus Manchester City. Newcastle, of course, famously beat us there at St James's Park. Yeah. Got off to a decent start so far this season. Haven't lost yet. Won their first game at home against Forest, that was. Hostile place to go to. The Geordies will be well up for it against Man City.
You go first.
Still City for me.
Yeah.
Even though I just talked up all that. City are just going along nicely at the moment. This is 2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go 1-3. I think Newcastle will score.
Yeah.
But I think City will be on 9 points like a certain other team at the end of the weekend.
All right, final game of the weekend actually takes place on Monday at Old Trafford, Manchester. Manchester United. Yeah, I always think of that. Every time I say that name, Man United, I just think of that meme where the guy goes, Manchester United! And he does that laugh, you see that one. Manchester United versus Liverpool. The interesting thing about this one, Lee, yeah? If Man United beat Liverpool, they actually go
above them. Yeah.
They would have 3 points. Liverpool would only have 2. Liverpool 2 draws. No Darwin Núñez for Liverpool. Few little injuries in the midfield.
Yeah, the midfield's not
right. No Thiago. Cut little injuries there. Could there be an upset? Because Man United, even though they're playing at home, if they beat Liverpool, it's an upset.
I think United might get a draw. 1-1.
No. I don't think so. I don't see it, man. I think United will be on trying to counter. It's not going to be last year when they got absolutely battered at home by Liverpool, but I can still see it being like 2-0 to Liverpool.
2-0?
Yeah. 2-0 to Liverpool.
A few injury problems, Liverpool, and no one up front.
Ooh, is that Liverpool?
I'm not doubting Liverpool. I think Jurgen Klopp's a fantastic manager, but I do think that there's a few problems at Liverpool. The midfield ain't quite right.
But Diaz and Salah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm going to say this to Liverpool. I actually said this in a show a few weeks ago. I think they're going to miss Marnie more than what they think they're going to.
Yeah, no, he's a big-time player. Massive miss.
Brilliant player.
Yeah.
But I don't think quite appreciated. Not maybe by a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't say that, but by other people. Because it's always about Mo Salah. But I just think he's going to be a big loss. Huge
miss.
Yeah.
But I think, listen, Mo Salah and that Diaz has looked very tasty.
Diaz, I like him.
That goal he scored the other night was brilliant.
Fantastic.
Diaz, Mo Salah up against Dalot and Luke Shaw. I'm sorry, mate.
No, yeah, I might change my mind now.
I can't see, Luke Shaw, Dalot, Maguire, and Lisandro Martinez. What I saw and we know that Liverpool are going to press. Nah. Then there's all the stuff around United. They're talking about protests, empty Old Trafford, which I doubt will happen anyway. But nope. I think it'll be empty Old Trafford once the second goal.
85 minutes it might be empty. All going back to
to
London.
Those are our predictions, right? I might. Should we put some sort of jeopardy in it?
Yeah, we'll put some forfeit in it,
So forfeit at the end of the month for the person who don't win.
Yeah, we'll do that then,
All right.
We'll do that.
Sure?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been taking a lot of heavy defeats.
No, it's worries about that. Look at it.
You don't see the significance of that, do you?
Oh, what's that?
Don't you see the significance of that?
No, getting bullied am I like? You know what I mean?
Come on, don't you? What's the significance of this?
Well, I don't know. Go on, you tell me.
Think.
Hey?
Think.
No, I don't know.
Oh, bloody hell.
What is it then?
Does he watch football?
What? There's a couple of we didn't turn around and dance like, you know what I mean, like, you know.
Too cool Conte, man.
How embarrassing was that? Like, do you know what? Just going quickly onto that.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to get hammered for that, right? And the one real act of violence just goes unpunished.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they can shake hands and have a little dance, and you know, tip each other's hats or whatever, like, you know what I mean? And the actual real bad thing in the game, that's all right, we'll let that go.
It's funny, I saw this thing the other day where, you know, with the Darwin Núñez headbutt.
Yeah.
Right, and he got sent off, right? And I saw something that was on Twitter where a guy goes, listen, somebody needs to sit Darwin Núñez down and teach him about the Premier League. You can't headbutt someone when they wind you up like that, just pull their hair.
We'll get away with it, ain't it? Like, I mean,
pull their hair off. That's all you get off with it.
Apparently, like, you know what I mean. You know, if you pull someone's hair, it's no offence.
Well, it would be.
Well, it would be me. Yeah, like, I mean, I've had many people trying. Like, you know what I mean.
Well, listen, we've reached the end of the show today. Don't forget, all right? 888 Poker. We've been bantering about it all show, but you can get involved. All you've got to do is click the link in the description and use the username Robbie AFTV or Lee AFTV. And remember to use the promo code WELCOME40. That means if you deposit £10, they will give you £40 to play. So see you there, get involved. But yeah, we had loads of fun playing poker. It's been really, really good.
It's quite fun. We'll still be on the tables, won't we? Have a little,
of course. Of course, man. Get involved. Lee, thank you very much.
No worries, enjoyed that.
Yep. You know, you owe me about 50 quid for picking you up.
Yeah,
well, absolutely pouring down rain,
wasn't it? Like,
yeah, I mean,
didn't have an umbrella with me, did I? I didn't want to get my hair wet.
Wally would have brolly, but it's all right. Thanks for watching.
He's had one win. Look at the abuse I'm getting. It's unreal.
Don't forget to subscribe to AFTV, and we'll see you next week. The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.